Hi everyone, welcome. In your course, you will see in the discussions at the top, click on discussions, introduction discussion. So one of the mandatory attendance activities is to have students introduce themselves to start developing a sense of community. We usually do not add to the gradebook. What we do add to the gradebook are the weekly discussion forums. A weekly discussion forum, for example, week 1 discussion, is first of all, it's based on your module objective. So whatever your learning goal is for the module, that is going to be the topic of your week 1 discussion. Students are going to be able to see each other's replies to your questions. They're going to be seeing each other's replies to each other. So it's an open to all the students public forum. Each week's discussion should be open-ended, which is difficult in math, because in math there's one right answer. However, in a discussion, you want it to be open-ended and aligned to your module objective. The other thing you'll notice is that it's a hot topic. HOT stands for higher order thinking or critical thinking. So the question involves critical thinking skills, HOT. And you'll also notice that the participation requirements are there. How long and at what due date will the students need to post, and how long and at what due date will they need to reply to 2 others. So those requirements are in the discussion instructions. And also you'll notice that it says rubric. How are you going to grade the quality of the students' post and their 2 replies to each other? So in Brightspace, click on the week 1 discussion, go to edit topic, and put that information in the description text box. You'll also notice that I've added this to the weekly forums. So the forum is the folder or category, and the topic is week 1 discussion. So you'll see here in this example, for participation requirements, I wrote down all the discussion posts should be substantial, meaningful, more than 3 sentences, the initial post Wednesday, and the 2 replies by the end of the unit, which is usually Saturday midnight or Sunday midnight. As you notice, I've also added the requirements, and that the discussions will be graded using a rubric in the weekly forum description. And having a rubric will easily let you meet the online teaching evaluation standards. You'll see the first 2 here in this image. The first one is that your discussion topic is open-ended because it encourages cooperation and participation of students. Actually, you require students to participate. And the second one, that you post clear expectations regarding that participation. The third criteria states that you'll have evaluate the post based on quality. Here's an example of an online discussion rubric. The rubric says first criteria is that it addresses the posted question or topic. The second is that your post incorporates course materials, so you have references to what you've read, and then so on. For the online discussion rubric is how you're going to evaluate the post based on quality criteria. So I'll give you just a few seconds to look at some of the levels going across. Now down at the last requirement is that students are making thoughtful comments to their peers. Those are the 2 replies. And I mentioned earlier about how the 2 replies are at the end of the unit or the end of the week. And that is so that the students have time to make their initial post, come back and see what others have written, and have more choices of who they can reply to, so that they can meet those 2 replies to others, that requirement. Okay, once again, we're going to edit the topic. And then you'll notice at the top it says assessment. And so this is the way that you will need to associate this discussion activity to the gradebook. So Brightspace by D2L does not automatically create a grade item. So I will be creating a new grade item by going to the Assessment tab. In this next video, even though it doesn't look like our Brightspace by D2L, it gives you a general idea of how to create a rubric for your discussion, how to embed that rubric, and how to use that rubric to grade your discussions.
How to use a rubric to grade discussions. This video will explain best practices for using a rubric to grade discussions in D2L 10.3. As an instructor, you can attach a rubric to a number of D2L tools, including the Discussions tool and the Gradebook. For ease of grading, the approach we recommend is to attach the rubric to the discussion topic as a reference for students. Then, add the rubric to the grade item, and grade from this tool. And create one grade item for each discussion topic. Let's take a look at the process. From the Communication drop-down menu, go to Discussions. We'll select this topic, Spending Strategies, for our demonstration. Go to Edit Topic to see which steps should be done within the Discussions tool. Click the Assessment tab. First, choose a grade item. This links the discussion topic to the gradebook. Next, enter the score out of points. Now the topic has been connected to a grade item and assigned a point value. Next, add a rubric to the discussion topic. Click the Add Rubric button. Check the Discussions rubric and Add Selected. The rubric appears with a red X. Students will be able to view the rubric from the topic before posting. Click Save and Close. This icon indicates the grade item is associated with this topic. Note that to grade the discussion topic, you also want to attach the rubric directly to the grade item. To do so, go to Assessments. Click Grades. This brings us to Enter Grades. From the Grade Items drop-down menu, select Edit. Scrolling down the Edit Item page. Again we see the Add Rubric button. Click the button to bring up the Select Rubric window. Check the Discussions rubric and Add Selected. Again you'll see the rubric appear with a red X. Click Save and Close. Now the rubric is ready for use in grading discussions. When you grade a discussion topic from the gradebook, the student will be able to view the rubric complete with individual scores and comments. Were this done within the Discussions tool, the student would not be able to view these details. Returning to the gradebook. From Enter Grades, Standard View. The icons for new posts are visible. From the topic heading, click the drop-down menu. Select Grade All. Scroll down the grade item page to find the students who have posted to the discussion topic. Also note the assessment icons. This is how you access the rubric. You'll need to open both links to grade. To start, click a submission icon to read the posts. This brings up a pop-up window that includes all of the posts this user has made to the topic. Scroll down to read the posts. At this point, you have the choice of scoring the post and providing feedback. But because there is an associated rubric, we suggest doing the assessment using the rubric. Click to close. Next, click the assessment ruler for the student. This brings up the discussions rubric. We can assign points for chosen criteria by using the radio buttons. In this case, the post was appropriate and relevant to the topic. But we'll take off a point on criterion 3. This results in 11 points for the assignment. Note that the text you've supplied with each point level provides feedback to the student. This is where the work of setting up a rubric pays off in time savings. When using a rubric, you will find less time is spent making repetitive comments. However, if you have the need to give specific feedback, you can do so by clicking the pencil icon. Here you can edit the score and provide feedback for the criterion. Once you've completed your assessments, again make note of total points and click Save. Click the X to exit the rubric scoring window. Note that the final step in this process is manually adding the score to the gradebook. This is not automatic and it can be easily forgotten. Enter the score and save. Scrolling down, we find the student grade recorded. Let's take a moment to review the process. From the gradebook, click the submission icon to view the post. Once you're done, click the assessment icon to complete the rubric scoring. Remember the overall score to manually grade the item and save. With that, the item is graded and ready for the student to review. How does the student see the rubric? To find out, I'll log out as the instructor and log in as the student. First, we'll go to Discussions to view the rubric. Click the topic heading. Note the rubric icon. Click the icon to bring up the rubric. By reviewing the rubric, the student can gain a better understanding of grading requirements before making a new post. Returning to the student's course homepage. Note the red dot on the notifications icon in the minibar. This alerts the student to the grade update. Click the link to go directly to grades. Clicking the assessment details link brings up the rubric. The student sees the completed rubric with highlighted text boxes, complete with scores and feedback. Returning to grades, in the student view, let's look at how the rubric appears with an ungraded assignment. Note the article's summary number 1. This grade item is linked to a rubric, but the assignment is not yet assessed. Click the assessment details link. Now we find the pop-up window is empty. The rubric will not appear here until an assessment has been made. If you want students to have access to your grading rubric as they are completing their coursework, we suggest adding the rubric to the Discussion Topics Assessment tab, as shown in this video. However, remember to do your grading from the rubric in the gradebook, so students can see scores and other feedback. This completes our video on using a rubric to grade discussions in D2L 10.3.